الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Respected Rector, respected elders and brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor for me to be here in this university today for many reasons. First of all, maybe many of you don't know that I am graduated from Pakistan. And many of you don't know also that I have been in Lahore almost 1 year. And many of you don't know that I am friend of brother Hassan Suhail Murad. So, for many reasons, really, it is a great honor for me to be our young brothers and sisters who are going to shape the future of this country for better future, for better developed and strong Pakistan. Yesterday, I gave a lecture in Peshawar University, in Agriculture University, and I asked a question: how many of you are studying in social sciences? And I came to know that there were only 3 brothers or sisters raised their hand. I think today's case is totally different. And majority or all of you are studying in social sciences. This is what I was looking for. So you are the people I am looking for, in fact. Because social sciences in Muslim world neglected to an extent intellectuals of Muslim countries cannot analyze what is going on even in their own countries. I was in Oxford University to give a lecture. After the conference, one lady took us to seaside around Congress, Oxford University. And she told us that for monthly basis, almost 5,000 new titles enters Oxford Library. And I'm sure majority of these books are on social sciences. So it means those nations who are reading the societies, who are reading the regional issues properly, they have right to rule the world. So unfortunately, especially our Arab brothers, to many extent, they sold their brilliant minds to the engineering and the medicine. That is why it is very difficult to understand what is going on then, even in their own countries. So Pakistan is very lucky that they have now this University of Technology and Management. Although it is technology, but you know, technology, medicine, and engineering is very important, but it takes very small part of our life. Life is social part, consists of the social activities. So, in fact, social sciences, applied sciences starts when applied science finishes. So you are the people who are going to understand, first of all, this country, people of this country, and the regional countries in this part of the world, and you are the people who will establish good relations with other nations. Because you have language, you have heritage. Since we are holding this program also in Heritage Club, so you have heritage, very strong heritage, Islamic heritage, and culture, and you have many things to give to other nations. So I think you are very lucky that you are studying in this university. You can clap yourself, yes, don't stop, don't hesitate. The main problem of the Muslims even in Pakistan or in Turkey, we divided our culture into religious or non-religious. When we say this is religious institutions and others are non-religious institutions, who say that this university is not a religious institution? Who say that, who divide this, who give this, this authority to divide the mentality of the Muslims into two parts? So whatever you are doing here, it is for the sake of your country, which is established for the sake of Islam. But if you work hard, this is for your nation, this is for your heritage. But those who are not studying social sciences today and they cannot produce modern terminology to express themselves even on the name of Islam, they cannot match other nations. So this is our main problem, in fact, to express ourselves in many platforms. Sometimes I say sociology is part of fiqh. You know, fiqh al-Islami, fiqh studies, Islamic studies. Sociology is part of Islamic studies. Some of our traditional ulama are, they are surprised how sociology can be part of fiqh studies. And I say in Arabic, let me say, if you allow me to say in Arabic, al-urfu mastarun asasi fi tashri' al-Islami. It means urf, it means tradition, it means sociology of the people is part of legal studies of legal Islamic studies to understand the people. You cannot judge any fiqh issue if you don't know the society. So what are you doing here is very important. But if your studies and your subjects are very much away from your own heritage, so there is another problem. So we have to combine our social studies, social sciences with our tradition. So we have to know who is Ghazali in this university while you are studying sociology, international relations, politics, and you have to know who is Ibn Rushd, you have to know who is Ibn Sina, what kind of policies he produced for the authorities in their own days. So if we do this, I think you are the exact people who will shape the future of the Ummah, Muslims. So what I want to say, in order to be strong, first of all, we have to know knowledge. We have to have knowledge. But the problem is, what is the definition of knowledge? Everybody can speak knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. But what is the sources of the knowledge? Since you are saying you are Muslims, according to my understanding at least, my knowledge has to combine with my own heritage, which is called Quran and Sunnah, since we are Muslims. But when you are teaching or studying social sciences away from these two sources, it means your sources are not combined with our own heritage. It means you are teaching a very good subjects, like British universities, like American universities are teaching, but they are teaching according to their own heritage. As you know that there are 4, 5, 6 many civilizations. One is Greek civilization, which is based all Western civilizations nowadays, Western countries, Western knowledge. And another is Hindu civilization. Nobody can deny it, and we accept it. There is a Hindu civilization. And there is a Chinese civilization. Nobody can deny it. Of course, there is an Islamic civilization also. So every civilization can get its studies, their background from their own heritage. But unfortunately, we Muslims, when we teach our subjects, social sciences and others, little bit we are away from our own heritage. So we are Muslims, we are giving certain dimensions from Greek philosophy, Greek heritage, and we want to apply it in Muslim societies. I think there will be some problems. There will be some misunderstandings. That is why in many cases, there are certain problems and differences and gaps between the politicians of the Muslim countries and the local people. So we have to finish this gap also. You see? So I think there are many good developments now. There are many good signs that we are on the right track. But again, we have to check whether we are going to be better, or we are still stuck in the same place. So also studies or universities has to contribute how to establish in our countries first, in our regions second, and in the world, justice, security, and peace. These are three words, although it is very easy to say this, but to establish these three basic things is not easy. There are many reasons, there are many problems intermingled with these three terminology. Sometimes even Muslims among themselves, among Muslim countries among themselves, cannot establish these three basic needs of Muslim societies. Look at the Muslim world now. Look at the Middle East, where they are standing, how they are standing in favor of who they are fighting and killing each other. This is all because of lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge, because the definition of knowledge still is not clear in our universities. It is the same thing in Turkey. I'm not talking only Pakistan. Don't think that I'm talking on Pakistan. It is a general problem. And there is another problem. There is no link between the universities. There is no exchange of experiences. For instance, maybe majority of you don't know what kind of theses are being written in Turkish universities. So maybe you are repeating the same thing, what they did in Turkey. If you get it, that thesis, that books, or whatever they did, their works, so you will reach the end very easily. But we are repeating and duplicating ourselves because there is no connection. So I'm very happy that when I met brothers in the door, in the entrance of the university, a few professors were talking in Turkish. So this is something very unique. So I started to be convinced there are two countries, maybe one nation, because of this gentleman. You know, when we say two country, one nation, because all resources, all background almost same. If you look at our prophet, we are believing same prophet. We are believing same book. We are believing same heritage, same civilization. All these things are same. So what is the problem then? So we have to exchange only our experiences. If you don't have this kind of mechanism to exchange our experiences, so we are going to suffer, and we are suffering in fact. There are certain things which you produce in this country, which we need in fact, and there are certain things which we produce in Turkey, you might be needed. And alhamdulillah, what I have seen, there are certain area, now we started sharing our experiences and cooperating together. Even sometime, some of our brothers in Pakistan are very jealous how Lahoris are cooperating with Turkish brothers, and Turkish brothers are not coming to Karachi. Some of our brothers in Karachi told me, why Lahore, you are emphasizing only on Lahore and you don't come to Karachi. and I told them, this is not because of Turkish brothers, because Lahori brothers came to Turkey and they asked their help, and they are helping, they are providing, and they are cooperating each other. So you go to Turkey, there are many companies, there are many firms. You can establish and make agreement, and you can bring another company, and you can compete with Lahore with different way. But don't tell me, don't blame me. So this is what I was saying. So this has been done to some extent, but we need in many fields, especially in the universities, cooperation among the universities. In the past, maybe you were blaming us that you are teaching only in Turkish. That is why it is very difficult for us to cooperate with Turkish brothers. But now, alhamdulillah, there are many universities, private universities, they are teaching in English also. Although I don't agree with that, that is another reason. But there are certain universities in Turkey, they are teaching in English, and it is very easy for this university to cooperate at this on the basis of theses, subjects, and even about the curriculum. You know, our experiences looks like that. There is a factory which is producing very good doors and windows. And very fast we are producing doors and windows, but market doesn't need it. Our local market and international market doesn't need these doors and windows. So what is the use of these doors and windows? If whatever it is good, even it is from the gold, what is the use of that? So many of our theses, many of our works look like our windows and doors. No use. Sometimes we don't focus and emphasize on simple works, but if you look at the Western universities, they produce from a simple thesis a very important policies. Let me tell you one example. You know, in Turkey we have small buses taking people from somewhere to another places within the city. Some American students came to Turkey, and they sit on these buses, small buses, almost 1 year to listen to people, what kind of discussions are going on among the people, what kind of problems they are facing in these small buses, and they have written theses on that. For you, it is nonsense. But from here, they can understand social fabric of Turkey, how they think, how they approach their problems, how they deal with each other, how they fight with each other, what kind of language they are using towards each other. So you see, from here they can produce certain policies to deal or to destroy. You see? So we have to study different things. It looks sometimes it is a minor things, but that might be very important. So social sciences are giving us chance to understand the society. You see, but sometimes those who are studying social sciences, they may not be given chance to solve the problems. That is another problem. But with the passage of time, when number of social scientists are increasing in the society, then they will start changing the things. And I know this is a private university. Maybe some private universities are going to do something much better than many government universities, as we have in Turkey. So I think this is a very good chance for us that we are having you people who are studying in social sciences. You know, many people are thinking that there are wars, and there are economical problems, and there are educational problems, and there are many problems. Majority of these problems are related with social sciences. You see, I know Pakistan is very good in engineering. Pakistan is very good in medical science. But I know also that Pakistan was lacking social sciences. That's why when I heard that this university is emphasizing on social sciences, it gives us a lot of hopes. But my advice for the authorities, for the rector, if he doesn't mind, I hope he will accept, social science students, if they know very good English and they don't know Arabic, something will be lacking. And it is very easy to include Arabic language, as you did for Turkish language. Maybe you can include even Turkish language with certain hours. Then all graduates will be multilingual. I mean, they will know many languages, and it will be very easy for them to go to the sources and study it. And you know, when you have something to say to the world, if you have something to say to the world, language is the secondary things. But the problem, we don't have something to say to the world. That is why yesterday I was thinking, which one is more important? Language is more important, or the culture is more important? Culture and irfan and heritage is more important than the language, foreign language. If you don't have your own heritage, if you don't know your own heritage, your own irfan, your own culture before, and you learn new language and many languages, it means you are going to under the occupation of new culture, because you don't have your own culture. And this is happening in Muslim world. I'm not talking about only Pakistan. Look at Arab world, look at Turkey. It is the same thing. Maybe we are talking in Turkish, and Arabs are writing in Arabic, but because they did not emphasize on culture, so they translating from English or from French, and they are talking about maybe with their own language, but at the end, it is a Western culture. So our heritage is very important. Then we can discuss, when we establish ourselves well, and when we convince the world, humanity or world people everywhere, then we can convince the people the world is bigger than 5. Otherwise, those who are controlling, 5 countries who have veto rights in the United Nations, yes, they are controlling the world because they convinced the world that they are developed countries. They convinced us that we are underdeveloped countries. When you are convinced that you are underdeveloped, you will continue as underdeveloped. But when you are feeling that you are not underdeveloped, and you can match them as you did in Pakistan in many fields, especially in nuclear field, when you decided to do this, and you did it, because you are not underdeveloped at least in nuclear field. So you can be also well developed in many fields, but you have to be sure that you are going to be independent 100%. So again, I am repeating, when we want to be 100% independent, it is not easy. You have to pay something for that. You know, to be independent in outward it is easy, but to be independent really is not easy. Nowadays, Turkey, when it started to show itself that it is an independent country, it can take its own decisions. So they started putting on us many sanctions. But we believe that when there are sanctions on Turkey, like they had in 1974, Turkey will develop more. Because we have match, we have challenge. When you have challenge, you have to produce your own needs and your own facilities. In Arabic, they say al-hajatu al-ikhtira. The needs of the society is the way of invention. It leads to invention. So what happens nowadays when Brother Erdogan, our president, said world is bigger than 5, it was a very small message in United Nations, but it created a lot of waves among the nations. So everybody is thinking that yes, really, the world is bigger than 5. So when I came to Pakistan, even Pakistani brothers started saying, yes, the world is bigger than 5. If you could establish this conscious in the heart of the students, in the mind of the students, and we train them into this way, I think feedback of this ideology, feedback of this understanding will contribute a lot of things for the nation. But first of all, we have to give them, we are proud that we belong to a very strong heritage. And once I was in Qatar, I was meeting with one ambassador of China, and he was explaining about Chinese development and everything, and Chinese population, everything. We know everything, but he was explaining. And I told him that our population is more than Chinese population. And he was shocked. He said, how? I told, you are 1,300,000,000. He said, yes, but we are 1,700,000,000 in the world. You see, when I say 1,700,000,000, I consider all Muslims are part of my heritage, part of my nation, part of my future. So it is very clear when we go to England, when we go to United States, even when we go to everywhere, in South Africa, everywhere, Muslims are coming to you. So they believe that they belong to this heritage, this notion, these feelings, this emotion. So, but unfortunately, because of lack of our organizational capacity, because of lack of our social aspect, social sciences aspect, we could not organize this capacity, this nation, 1,700,000,000 nation, properly. And nationalism doesn't help in many cases. Maybe locally you can use it to some extent. But when you go in detail, you cannot keep your own countries. So this heritage is very important. Yes. Unfortunately, we Muslims in general, nowadays, some of our maybe our own brothers who involved in certain activities here and there, and they are severely used by international intelligence forces under the name of Islam. They have been used, and they now suffered here and there. And in Western countries, Muslims, when they call Muslims heritage, Islamic civilization, they remember all these things. That's why I'm saying this kind of organizations or this kind of approach produced by the Orientalist forces. I don't have any doubt about that. So this is now high time, our time, to make another challenge that our heritage is not like that. Muslims ruled in India more than 800 years. 800 years. And Hindus and Buddhists were majority. And they did not force any Hindu to be Muslim by force. This is our heritage. You know, Muslims conquered Istanbul 1453. And until 18th century, majority of Istanbul people were Christians. Nobody was forced to be Muslim. Nobody can blame us that we did this and that. But unfortunately nowadays, a group of people are representing or doing something which is un-Islamic at all. For instance, Muhammad Sultan Fatih, when he went to Balkan countries, that is part of Europe, he gave a statement, we call it Ferman. This Ferman was that much strong and beautiful, more than human rights decision which has been taken by the United Nations nowadays. So that is our heritage. We don't have anything to shy about our heritage. But we have to defend our own heritage properly. I mean, so I hope this university will play a lot of roles to solve these problems for Ummah and our heritage. Yes. We Muslims in general, our Muslim countries in general, have different specialty. I mean, you have produced something very good, and maybe Saudi Arabia produced something very good, Iran produced something very good. Let us say some Central Asians have some other things. But there is lack of organization, lack of links, lack of connection. That is why Turkey once established the 8 countries project. It is still there, but we have to motivate it again. We have to activate it again properly. You know, if the 8 countries work properly, no, it was very easy to say to the 5 countries, those who are saying that we are bigger than the world, we could say more strongly, look, we are bigger than these 5 countries. But unfortunately, although it was established with very strong intentions, but we could not activate it properly. And Pakistan, Turkey is including the 8 countries. So maybe your new brothers here, they can produce new solutions, new approach for us, and solve these kind of problems which we are lacking nowadays. In this country, I know because I have been here 10 years, my culture about this country maybe sometime more than my country. Now I am trying to learn Turkey and Turkish situations. There are certain opportunities which is not being used properly. So once you don't use these opportunities, sometimes these opportunities used by others against against yourself. So this country, 200 million nation, 200 people in this country, has a power, manpower, has an educational power. But unfortunately, when you divide the mentality, when you divide the mindset set of the people, this is religious or this is non-religious, so you produce two different trends, two different nations in the same country. So whether you like or not, with the passage of time, these two different trends are going to fight each other and create the problems for the society. Who realized this problem first time? Ismail Raja Faruqi. He is a Palestinian scholar. He's a Palestinian scholar who grew up in the United States. When he did his PhD in the United States, later on he came to know that all his studies, all his studies will not contribute many things for Muslim heritage, Muslim nation. And he was in the United States, and after he got his PhD in comparative religions, he went to Egypt and studied in Azhar again. It's something very unique cases. And when he came back to United Nations, United States, then he started new project, call it Islamization of knowledge. And because of that case study, International Islamic University was established in Pakistan. And International Islamic University of Malaysia was established. He's a very single man. He's only one man. He started looking how Muslims can approach social sciences. So I'm sure our brothers in this university and our brothers and sisters and our administration will look at the things from our own perspective. Yes, you can teach the latest books which have been published in the United States, in England. Yes, you can use because you are teaching in English. But we have to look at the things from our own perspective. When we do this, yes, then you are contributing our heritage or our civilization. I don't want to prolong too much. I think my message is very clear. If you want to be good nation, strong nation, first of all, we must be very strong in social sciences. Of course, applied sciences are very important also. But what I'm talking, there must be a balance. Otherwise, we cannot say that engineering is not important, medical faculties are not important. So all of us are going to medical doctors. I don't want to make them angry. But there is a neglection. We neglected social sciences. This is why my focus was on that. I hope my message reached to all brothers and sisters. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all the to give us this chance.